Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Mr.PvE, and this is another episode of Get Funky. Have you ever been in a firefight where you run out of ammo with your primary weapon, and you end up using your secondary weapon? Your secondary weapon's a submachine gun, and you're trying to shoot something far away. Well, probably looks something like this. You're getting shots, but more than anything, you're wasting ammo. And if you use a primary like the one I use, which is the chameleon, this thing's bloom is ridiculous. And although it hits harder and you could actually get them down, look at all the bullets you're wasting to try to get those hits. So today, I'm going to show you my aimbot striker build. Same exact scenario. See, I have health down there. Almost dead. Alright, same exact scenario. Vector, chameleon, guy at 50 health. Look at the hits that I'm landing now, and the bloom. Now, the chameleon, you guys just saw how bad the bloom is. Now this build is really old. This is the build that I made when the striker first came to the Division 2. Back then, if you missed a shot, you lost a stack. So I made a build that made it very hard to miss shots so that you could always keep your stacks up and not worry about losing them because you were missing shots. So if you look here, look at the bloom. Okay, another thing I want you to notice is the control that I have. It doesn't move, it just stays there. And the way I'm able to do that is literally by pressing ADS and then squeezing the trigger. I'm not touching anything else but those two buttons. See, even as fast as this one is, it just doesn't start flying up immediately. It slowly starts to move from center. And it's a high rate of fire gun, which usually just starts climbing immediately. This one, crawl. And again, all I'm doing is ADSing, squeezing the trigger. So like I said, this was a build that I made for the original striker, but I loved it so much that I just kept using it because I just don't miss shots. Another benefit to this is if you look at the reload speeds, they're just ridiculous. So your reload time is cut down, your stability is increased by a lot. The bloom is literally disappearing. You literally almost have no bloom, which is the little white dot, the way it dances around. The group gets so tight with this build that you can just hold the trigger. You don't really gotta do anything else, which makes it very hard to miss and very easy to chase people when they're running from one side to another like this guy. You could just track them. So you just literally gotta concentrate on the target. You don't gotta worry about concentrating on the target and also trying to keep the recoil down. And it has no recoil, it eliminates the recoil. All right. So let me show you how it works. You can run it with any gun. It doesn't matter what gun. This is just the guns that I use. I love the chameleon because of its talents. So it's the gun I use. If you want immediate damage, you can run the EB of a Moss is really good with it because of the high rate of fire. You can run pretty much anything you want. So these are kind of not important. This is a little bit for survivability, but other than that, the guns don't really matter. So what we have here is a mask of Seska for that extra crit chance. And we have crit chance, crit damage on here. We have a Grupo for the crit damage, crit chance, crit damage on here. Then we got the holster, which is crit damage. Knee pads, crit damage. Gloves, crit chance. Backpack, crit damage. And it's as easy as that. So what I'm going to say right now, it's very, very true. It's very, very honest. Some people might not like it, but it is facts, okay? It takes no skill to build the striker build. No skill to build the striker build. A striker is going to do damage no matter what you put on it. As you guys saw with the build that I made, where I made it into a skill build, it still pumps out a lot of damage being that it's a skill build, okay? So here, the only thing that I did was I wanted to utilize the fact that this already has 15% weapon handling. I wanted to increase that because I saw how fast it was making me reload compared to when I don't run striker. I was like, how can I make this even better? So I put brace. When in cover, weapon handling is increased by 45%. Once you do that, plus the 15 here, it's freaking crazy. And then you can get the guns that have, there's a CTAR, I believe, that has perfect handling or something like that. It's like 50% weapon handling. That gun, if you aim it center mass on that little inner circle, the smallest one, and you squeeze the trigger, it does not move from there. It is literally a laser. It is ridiculous. Okay, I was gonna use it for this video, and I decided not to because it would make it seem like you need that gun in order to make this build work, and you don't. You could use any gun you want, but if you want a straight up laser beam, people are gonna think you're fucking aimbotting. Use that gun, and it is freaking ridiculous. Okay, so again, Seska, Grupo with brace, everything else striker, at least one piece with crit chance. You go over here, you're gonna see maxed out crit chance, 155 crit damage, maxed out crit chance, 170 crit damage. Okay, you go over here, 100% all weapon damage. Use gunner because you're gonna need the ammo. Trust me, you run by ammo so much in this build just because you don't really miss, so you're not afraid to take shots that you normally wouldn't take, and that results in you going through ammo very, very quickly. So use gunner for that. You'll also increase your rate of fire and all the bonus stuff that gunner gives you. But that's the main reason I use gunner, is because I run out of bullets so damn fast. If I didn't have the gunner, I would be shit out of luck in a lot of situations. What I end up doing is I use a gun till it is 100% empty, then I switch to the next gun. Because when this gun is empty and I switch to this gun, while I'm shooting this gun, this one is slowly regenerating its ammo. By the time I'm done with this gun, I usually have half my ammo back with this gun. And then when you're done with this one again, this one will have a quarter of its ammo. And you slowly start going to eventually you don't have no ammo, but it does make it so that it lasts a lot longer. Now, if you want to run the Bullet King on here, because you're like, I'm going to shoot, it's not going to miss, it's going to be amazing, I have a better gun for you. Runs exactly like the Bullet King, but hits harder. Okay? The rate of fire isn't as fast, but if you see it's 110, look at the Bullet King. Bullet King is 86. Although you can shoot it out faster and you won't really miss, on the Stoner, you could put mods on it, get that crit chance up higher, and be able to do a lot more damage with this than you can with the Bullet King. And what makes that work is steady-handed. Okay, you're building up stacks of accuracy and stability, which works perfectly with what we're running already anyways. And then at 100 stacks, it refills your magazine, and it doesn't do it from your reserves. So when you start shooting, this guy's invulnerable. This is another reason why I wanted to leave it like this. Watch, I'm gonna shoot, and I'm not gonna stop. I'm just gonna let loose. And I want you to pay attention to that reserve. Let me reload because I need the ammo. I want you to pay to the reserve. 916, okay? Just pay attention to that. think you get the point. Instead of going down, we went up. Okay? Because the gunner is going to constantly give you ammo back. So you have 200 rounds to hit 100 rounds to refill that and keep you on those same 200 rounds indefinitely, as long as you don't miss more than 200 times, which is ridiculous. So if with this build that's pretty much aimbot, if you're missing 200 shots, I mean you need to work you need to work on some shit. But this pretty much makes this the Bullet King. It hits harder. It may not shoot as fast, but because you are using it with a striker, it does have faster RPM than normal. So you could hit harder, you have a higher crit chance, and you won't run out of bullets. And if you're using this as your secondary, when you run out of bullets with your primary, switch over to this, and you won't run out of bullets. You could keep shooting it, shoot at whatever you're gonna shoot at. And then even if you start losing some bullets because you're missing, because you're trying to shoot drones out of the sky or whatever, that's obvious. Sometimes you won't hit those shots. It's gonna be stacking up because of gunner. So this is a very good build. Again, this is a build that's hella old. I made it, I think it was the very first week the striker came out, for the simple fact that I saw how good it could be if you didn't miss shots. And I was like, how can I make that happen? Slap this together. Been using it ever since. Striker has changed. Now you can go up to 200 stacks. You do more damage, all that stuff. The only thing that I'm really utilizing is the backpack for that extra damage. Took off the chest piece to run brace. The way I saw it was, if you're running the 2 striker pieces, but your accuracy ain't great, you're not really putting out the damage you think you're putting out when you test it here at the range. And you're seeing, like, because I have a build that hits for 2 million, a striker build that hits for 2 million. But if you're not landing those shots, it doesn't matter if you're hitting for 2 million if you're missing every 2 million shot. Every shot that could have potentially been 2 million. If you're missing that shot, then you're not putting out that damage. You're putting out a quarter of that because you're not landing your shots. With this build, even though it doesn't push out as much damage, it's hard to miss. Like, you gotta make it miss pretty much. So there you go, guys. Another one for Gat Funky. It's builds that shouldn't be, but just are. This is literally aimbot striker build. And you could run this with any build that you want, really. But the reason why it works best with striker is because striker already has that weapon handling. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you join me on the next one. You guys have a great day.